Okay, everybody, what's up? We're live. Yesterday, I had over 1,000 people watch yesterday's encouragement video, and so I wanted to do another one today just to keep this on, just on this week, encouraging people, whether you're in sales or not. I'm happen to be in real estate sales, and I see the struggle every single day. My question to you today is this: how would you play if you knew that you were going to win? I mean, like any game. I mean, like Monopoly or something like that. If you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, I'm gonna win this game, how would you play? Well, you might think to yourself, well, that's kind of weird because, maybe I'll like slack off for a little bit, or maybe I won't play as, aggressively or something like that. But actually, the reality is you'd probably relax a little bit more about what happened throughout the process. What I mean by that is you might think to yourself, you know what? If a setback showed up in my life, maybe I wouldn't have to worry so much. Or maybe if the game went the way I didn't think it was going to go, if I knew that I was going to win in the end, maybe I'd play a little bit differently. Maybe I'd relax a little bit. My wife always says this one thing. Molly says, David, the world is slanted in your favor. The world is slanted in your favor. And when I met her and she used to say that, I was like, what do you mean by that? And as I got to know her all the time, all of her friends, they always know it always works out for Molly. And it's like, I ask her, I'm like, how do you feel like that's the case? And she was like, well, I always am believing that things are going to work out. And because I'm believing that they're going to work out, I'm actually relaxed about it and my mind's clearer for it. And then I just honestly believe that things are going to be okay. And they honestly work out in the end after all. I mean, how many times have you thought to yourself, the worst is going to happen? And you worry so much about it, right? You worry, oh gosh, maybe, this person doesn't like me, or, maybe I'm going to lose my job, or like, this is the worst that could happen with a medical. Believe me, I've been there with all of those. And most of the time it actually doesn't work out. It's why the insurance industry is actually there, because most of the problems that we worry about don't actually happen. So how would you play if you knew that you were going to win? How would you play if you knew at the end of the day in life, it's like, it's all going to work out? How would you play? Would you relax a little bit more? Would you have a little bit more peace? Would you be able to talk to the other person who, you're dealing with at work or at home or whatever it is with a little bit more grace and understanding? Like, probably. But the reality is most of the time we keep our minds in this place of worry and anxiety and stress, and it just grows into everything else. It's almost like a wildfire. And worry being like a wildfire, it just eats everything up. And so if you feel that way today, my encouragement to you is, how would you play if you knew you were going to win? Well, here is the encouragement. You are going to win. We just have to redefine what winning means. Because if we define winning as a certain amount in the bank account, or we define winning as a certain amount of prestige, or we define winning as when my kids are here or there, whatever it is, believe me, I've been there as well. There's always something else. There's always a higher high. There's always this next level that you're going to get to. I remember for myself, I thought, you know what, maybe, when we sell a certain amount of houses, right, it'll be there. Then I can like start a real estate team. And then maybe when my team sells a certain, it was all crazy stuff. And it was like, it didn't matter. That winning was never an end. And so I've had to redefine winning in my life, and I wonder if you will too. And winning for me is just simply being the best version of myself that I can possibly be, and being a little bit better than I was yesterday. My race is not with anyone else. I'm not racing anybody. I'm actually just looking at myself, at David, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and I'm thinking to myself, how can I be a better version of myself today than I was yesterday? That's what winning is to me. And if I choose that, I didn't respond really well here, or things aren't working out the way I thought they would on a deal, or in a business relationship or personal relationship or whatever it is, it might go sideways a little bit, but I know that in the end, it's all going to be better than it was when I started. I'm going to leave this place better than I found it. And I want to honestly be better for who I am, and I know that you want to as well. So if we redefine winning as that, now we can really say to ourselves, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And we can have a little bit more swagger about it. I mean, think about that. If you were playing your Monopoly game and you knew you were going to win, and then you ended up landing on someone's place, maybe it's they own Boardwalk and Park Place, and they're like, oh man, you owe me, $1,000 or whatever. And it's like, it's your last $1,000, you pay it out, but you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt you were going to win. You'd be like, happily, here you go. Here's the $1,000. I'm like, what? But they don't know that maybe the next 10 or 15 rolls are all going to work out in your favor, and that you're going to win the game. And so today, I would want to encourage you on this Tuesday. You're going to win. You're going to win the game big. And I want you to go around with a little bit more swagger today. Hopefully this is helpful. Share this maybe with someone today, and maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow.
If this video has been of value to you, then go ahead and click that subscribe button, especially if you're looking for more content as a team leader to grow a profitable team or as a real estate agent just to get started in your business with top tips. Thanks so much for watching.